Paige Bueckers is the best shooting guard in the WNBA, point blank, period. She's better than Kelsey Mitchell. She's better than Alicia Gray. She's better than whoever you got at the 2-guard spot. Paige Bueckers is better than them. Caitlin Clark, she's not on Caitlin Clark level. We all know Caitlin Clark is the best point guard in the league. But Paige Bueckers is definitely the best 2-guard.
24 points, 6 assists, 0 turnovers, and a complete completing of Kelsey Plum. That's what Paige Bueckers delivered in her Unrivaled debut, and it wasn't even close. But here's what makes this performance significant beyond just the stat line. This 3-on-3 format exposed something about shooting guards in the WNBA that 5-on-5 games sometimes hide. When you strip away the help defense, when you eliminate the weak side rotations, when it's just you versus your defender in space, the hierarchy becomes crystal clear, and Paige Bueckers just made a statement about where she stands.
Paige Bueckers in her Unrivaled debut, 24.6 assists, no turnovers, 5 rebounds, 2 blocks. She was absolutely dominant to start this game off, especially. Paige Bueckers was boogieing, man. She was cooking tonight. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Like I know her fans be like trying to make it a Paige versus Caitlin thing. I don't think Paige has done enough in terms of like her rookie season just don't measure up. But I'm still a fan of Paige's game.
Now let's be clear about what we're evaluating here. The argument isn't that Paige is better than Caitlin Clark. That's not the conversation. Clark operates as the primary ball handler, the floor general, the engine that makes Indiana's entire offense function. She averaged 19.2 points and 8.4 assists as a rookie while running one of the league's most efficient offenses. Those are two different positions with completely different responsibilities. But at the 2-guard spot, that's where this gets interesting. Because when you look at pure shooting guards in the WNBA, the names that come up are Kelsey Mitchell, Alicia Gray, Kelsey Plum, and Paige Bueckers. And after watching this unrivaled performance, the gap between Bueckers and everyone else at that position becomes harder to ignore. This wasn't just a good game. This was a systematic breakdown of what happens when an elite 2-guard gets matched up against good competition without the safety net of team defense to bail anyone out.
He's gonna shine in an Unrivaled type setting, and Alicia Gray, like certain people are gonna shine in this setting. I don't think this has any whereabouts in terms of the effect of a 5-on-5 game. You know what I'm saying? I felt like Paige Bueckers was the best shooting guard in the WNBA before this. I'm not running around saying she's the best 2-guard in the league because of some damn 3-on-3 game. Let's get that out the way. But let's take a look at what she did tonight, because she was absolutely cooking, man.
Well, you know what's nice about having Gary McDonald on the floor with Bueckers? Bueckers can
off a third consecutive All-Star nod. All-league second team. Bueckers fadeaway switch.
But both of these teams, you can see the...
See what I'm saying? Like,
here's why the 3-on-3 format actually matters for this discussion. Paige Bueckers is a half-court player. Her game is built on isolation scoring, on creating separation in tight spaces, on using her size and skill advantage to get quality looks against single coverage. That's her DNA as a basketball player. In 5-on-5, you can scheme against that. You can send help. You can force her to give the ball up. You can make her beat you as a playmaker instead of a scorer. But in Unrivaled, there's nowhere to hide. When Kelsey Plum got switched onto Bueckers, there was no weak side help coming. When Bueckers wanted to post up smaller guards, there was no double team arriving. The format stripped away all the defensive advantages and said, beat your matchup straight up. And that's exactly what happened. 7 of 15 from the field, 5 of 5 from the free throw line, and complete control of the game's tempo whenever she touched the ball. Compare that to how other guards performed in this same format. Kelsey Plum went 5 of 17, 2 of 10 from 3. That's not just an off night. That's what happens when you can't rely on screens and team actions to generate your offense. Marina Mabre, Alicia Gray, these are players whose games should theoretically thrive in this setting. But Bueckers looked like she was playing a different sport.
But both of these teams, you can see the quickness for getting into their actions.
Paige Bueckers with trickery. A minute first quarter. Breeze has caught the momentum. Wind at its sails as Bueckers leans and scores. Area Fenn, an all-star in her first pro campaign, looks to carry it over. Bueckers finds break code out there. They try to establish a 2-woman game. Martin catches the back door and scores to go to work. Paige Bueckers.
Watch that sequence again. Pound dribble, sidestep to the right, pull-up three at the buzzer. That's not luck. That's not hot shooting. That's technical mastery. The footwork, the balance, the release point. Everything about that shot is NBA-level mechanics, and she's doing it against a defender who knows it's coming, who's played at the highest level, who's won a WNBA championship. The blocks tell another part of the story. 2 blocks in a 3-on-3 game means you're not just scoring, you're controlling both ends of the floor. At 6'1", Beckers has the size to contest shots that guards like Plum simply cannot challenge. That's a massive advantage in a format where switching is mandatory and mismatches are constant. When you can score on smaller guards and defend them effectively, you become unguardable in this setting.
Comes up with the stop on defense.
Yeah, man. Paige did her thing, man. She destroyed Kelsey Plum. I'm not even gonna lie. She cooked Kelsey Plum. Kelsey Plum was just too little. Kelsey Plum, love her game, just too little. You know, against a Kelsey Plum, Paige Beckers is able to drop that shoulder on her, get her off of her, and raise up over her whenever she wants. She could get the mid-range shot over a Kelsey Plum whenever she wants. Kelsey Plum's just too small. Rakia Jackson did close this game out at the free throw line. Aaliyah Boston.
Let's talk about what this means for the 5-on-5 game, because that's where the real debate lives. Does dominating in Unrivaled automatically make you the best shooting guard in the WNBA? No. But it does reveal something important about your skill set. It shows that when the game slows down, when possessions become isolation heavy, when playoff basketball turns into half-court execution, you have the tools to carry an offense. Think about Paige's rookie season with the Sparks. She made the All-Star team, she earned all WNBA second-team honors. Those aren't participation trophies. You don't get those accolades by accident in a league this competitive. She averaged 19.6 points per game while shooting 46% from the field and 41% from three. For context, Kelsey Mitchell averaged 19.2 points on 44% shooting. Alicia Gray put up 15.8 points on 43% shooting. The numbers already suggested Beckers was in the conversation for best 2-guard in the league. This unrivaled performance just added visual evidence to support what the statistics were already indicating.
He got cooked. Paige Beckers, 7 of 15, 1 of 2 from 3, 5 of 5 from the free throw line, 24 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. Rakia Jackson, 16 points on 7 of 16 shooting. Cameron Brink only played 7 minutes. She had 4 points. Dominique Malonga, 15 points. The young boy, the young intern squad, man. The youngins out there. Ari McDonald, 0 of 4. Ari McDonald, I don't even know how she got in Unrivaled. She was at the unemployment line to start last season. Y'all just giving anybody spots.
Now here's where the Dominique Malonga discussion becomes relevant. 18 years old, 19 points, 15 rebounds in this game. The athletic profile is off the charts. The basketball IQ is already advanced for her age. And the skill set is remarkably complete for someone who should still be in college right now. When you're building a franchise, when you're looking at the 2025 WNBA draft, you have to ask yourself, would you rather have the proven elite scorer who's already an all-star, or would you take the 18-year-old with generational potential? That's not a criticism of Paige Beckers. That's just acknowledging that Malonga represents the kind of prospect that doesn't come around often. The combination of size, athleticism, skill, and youth is rare enough that you have to consider it even when comparing against established stars. The pick-and-roll chemistry between Beckers and Malonga in this game was immediate. That's not something you can fake. That's 2 high IQ players who understand spacing, timing, and how to manipulate defense if they end up on the same WNBA team. That's a foundation you can build around for the next decade.
Prayers to her. I think something might have happened where she may have got hurt. Let's take a look at what Paige had to say in the post game. I wanna look at this because I didn't get a chance to see this.
Early 20s, but you have someone on your team that is 19 years old who is dominating. That pick and roll that you all have, that connection that you're developing early. Talk a little bit about Malonga and her contribution, her dominance in the paint.
Yeah, it's just hard to believe that she's only 19 and
like the future is just so bright for her. Like this is the worst she'll ever be. And
Aliyah Boston's performance deserves attention too. 18 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. Last year in Unrivaled, Boston looked completely lost. The format didn't suit her game. She struggled to find rhythm. People were genuinely concerned about whether her rookie season's struggles were carrying over into the offseason. But this version of Aliyah Boston, this looked like the player who won National Player of the Year at South Carolina. Aggressive, efficient, confident. That matters because it shows that players can adapt to this format with experience. The 3-on-3 game isn't just about isolation scoring. It's about understanding spacing in a compressed floor, recognizing when to attack and when to facilitate, adjusting to the pace and physicality. Boston figured it out. That's a positive sign for her development heading into next season.
And I'm gonna be honest, I was the one quoted as saying I would have took Dominique Malonga with the #1 pick in the draft over Paige Beckers, just off the fact the girl was 18 and she's just oozing with potential. But get down in the comments, let me know what y'all think, man.
So let's bring this full circle and address the core question. Is Paige Beckers the best shooting guard in the WNBA? Here's the case for yes, and here's why it's more than just one unrivaled performance. Start with the statistical production. 19.6 points per game as a rookie puts her in elite company. Only a handful of guards in the league can score at that volume on that efficiency. The 46% field goal percentage and 41% three-point percentage aren't just good numbers, they're exceptional for a high-usage guard. When you're taking difficult shots, when defenses are keying on you, maintaining that level of efficiency is what separates good scorers from elite ones. Then consider the All-Star selection and all WNBA second-team honors. The coaches and media members who vote on these awards watch every game. They see the film. They understand the context. When they put Paige Beckers on the All-WNBA second team as a rookie, they're saying she's already one of the 10 best players in the league, regardless of position. That's not hype. That's recognition of legitimate excellence. Now add the versatility. At 6'1", Beckers can guard multiple positions. She can post up smaller guards. She can shoot over contests. She can handle the ball and create for others, evidenced by the 6 assists in this unrivaled game. That's not a one-dimensional scorer. That's a complete two-way player who impacts winning in multiple ways. Compare that profile to the other top shooting guards. Kelsey Mitchell is an incredible scorer, but she's 5'8" and doesn't provide the same defensive versatility. Alicia Gray is more of a combo guard who needs the ball in her hands to maximize her impact. Kelsey Plum is fantastic in transition and as a secondary creator, but when you need a bucket in the half court against set defense, is she your first option? The unrivaled performance suggested maybe not. What this game exposed was the difference between guards who thrive in system basketball versus guards who can create offense from nothing. Paige Beckers is in that second category. She doesn't need a specific scheme or particular teammates to be effective. Give her the ball, give her space, and she'll generate quality offense. That's the skill set that translates to playoff basketball, to close games, to moments when the shot clock is winding down and someone needs to make a play. The Caitlin Clark comparison keeps coming up, and it needs to be addressed directly. Clark is the better player right now. She's the better passer, the better floor general, the more impactful offensive engine, but they play different position. Clark is a point guard who happens to be an elite scorer. Beckers is a shooting guard who happens to be a capable playmaker. Those are distinct roles with different responsibility. What makes this interesting for the WNBA is that both players are young, both are marketable, and both represent the future of the league. The Fever have their franchise cornerstone in Clark, the Sparks have theirs in Beckers. And the rivalry between them, even if it's manufactured by fans and media, is good for the league's growth. Debates like this generate interest, they create storylines, they give people reasons to watch games and pick sides. The 3-on-3 format isn't a perfect evaluation tool for 5-on-5 basketball, but it does reveal something about a player's pure skill level. When you can't hide behind team schemes, when you can't rely on help defense, when it's just you and your abilities against another elite player, that's when you find out who can really play. And in that environment, Paige Beckers just dominated a WNBA champion and one of the league's most respected guards. Does one game prove she's definitively the best shooting guard in the league? But combined with her rookie season production, her all-star selection, her all-WNBA honors, and now this unrivaled performance, The evidence is piling up. At minimum, she's in the conversation. And if she continues developing at this trajectory, by next season, there might not be much debate left. The Kelsey-Plum matchup was particularly revealing. 5 of 17 shooting, 2 of 10 from 3. That's not just an off night. That's what happens when a smaller guard can't generate separation against bigger, longer defenders. Plum is listed at 5 foot. Beckers has 5 inches on her. In 5-on-5, Plum can use screens and off-ball movement to create advantages. In 3-on-3, there's nowhere to hide, and the result was a complete mismatch. This is why the shooting guard position matters so much in modern basketball. You need someone who can score in isolation, who can create their own shot, who can punish mismatches. The WNBA is evolving toward more pick-and-roll heavy offenses, more switching defenses, more versatility at every position. In that environment, having a 6'1" shooting guard who can score at all 3 levels, defend multiple positions, and create for others is incredibly valuable. So where does this leave us? Paige Bueckers put the league on notice. Whether you think she's the best shooting guard or not, you have to acknowledge she's in the conversation. And for a player who just finished her rookie season, being in that conversation is remarkable. Most rookies are still figuring out the speed of the professional game. Bueckers is already competing for positional supremacy. The question isn't whether she's talented enough. The question is whether she can sustain this level of play over a full season, whether she can stay healthy, whether she can continue developing the playmaking and defensive aspects of her game. If the answer to those questions is yes, the Sparks have their franchise player for the next decade, and the rest of the league needs to figure out how to stop her, because the traditional methods clearly aren't working.